Have you ever noticed how some copywriters charge $10,000 for a single sales page while others struggle to get just 500? Or how some high-ticket coaches sell out $10,000 or even $15,000 offers while others can hardly sell their services by the hour? I'll tell you exactly why this happens. It's not about using fancy words. It's not about some secret formula. It all comes down to one thing: telling the right story in the right way. If you're new here, I am Michael Kelly, the founder of Scale Your Offers, and I've helped my clients generate millions in sales by using the power of story. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. Look, I'm not going to waste your time with theory. Everything I'm about to share with you, I've tested it over and over and over again. I've used these same strategies to help clients sell programs ranging from $5,000 all the way up to $25,000. And make sure you stick around until the end, because I'm going to show you 3 huge mistakes people make when trying to tell their stories. These mistakes are probably costing you sales right now. Let me share something crucial with you. When someone reads facts and numbers, only 2 parts of their brain light up. But when somebody reads a story, 7 different parts of their brain start firing. That's pretty crazy, right? This is why you can forget statistics 5 minutes after you hear them, but you still remember stories your parents told you when you were a kid. Now, this becomes super important when you're selling high-ticket offers, and here's why. When someone's thinking about spending $5,000 or more with you, they need more than just facts and figures. They need to feel something. They need to connect with your message on a deeper level. Let me give you a real example of how this works. Now, this one isn't high-ticket, but it's still super powerful on the importance of being able to tell a story. I had a client who was struggling to sell their $25 per month creative coaching program. Their sales page was packed with all their credentials and every feature of their program. Sounds good, right? But it just wasn't working. So we changed one thing. We started with the story of how creators are making 3 costly mistakes when it comes to making beautiful pieces of home decor and positioning their offer as the thing to solve those 3 problems. And we made sure we did it in a way that was using a story that the target audience could truly relate to. Just that one change made their conversions go from 1.8% up to 9.2% and added over $40,000 in reoccurring revenue in just 21 days. Now, let me break down the 3 parts your story absolutely needs to have. First, you need to talk about the challenge. Think about it like this. What was the moment that changed everything for you? Maybe it was sitting at your desk at 3 a.m. realizing you couldn't keep going the way that you were. Or maybe it was checking your bank account and seeing you only had $2,471 left to run your business. Your goal here is to be as specific as possible. The more real details you can share, the better your story is actually going to be perceived by your target audience. Next up is the change. This is where you talk about what you did differently. What worked, what didn't, what surprised you. If you've seen any of our VSLs, you've seen us weave this through all of those. Now, this is something super important to remember. People love to hear about the bumps in the road. You don't want to make everything sound perfect. Perfect isn't believable. And finally, you need the victory. But here's the key. Don't just talk about how great things are now. Show exactly how you got there. Share real numbers. Share actual results. This is what makes people believe they can do it too. All right, let's get a little practical with this. Here's exactly how you write these stories. First thing you need to do, of course, is just start collecting stories. Every time something happens in your business or life, good or bad, you need to make sure you're writing it down. Every time a client gets a win, you need to write that down as well. Your goal here is to build yourself a collection of stories that you can use throughout your emails, your sales pages, your VSLs, all of that stuff. Next, you want to use what I call the movie scene approach. Think about it like you're describing a scene in a movie. What would the camera see? What would we hear? what's happening in that exact moment. This makes your stories feel real. It puts people right there with you. Here's what I mean. Instead of saying business was bad, you might say, I was sitting in my car, afraid to go inside and tell my team that we couldn't make payroll. Do you see the difference in those two? One tells you what happened. The other puts you right in that moment, right in the passenger seat, along for the ride. Now, let me show you those 3 big mistakes that I promised. Mistake number 1 is making everything perfect. Nobody believes a story when everything goes right, because that's just not how life works. You need to share the struggle and you need to share the doubts. That right there is what makes people trust you. Mistake number 2 is staying on the surface. Don't just talk about what happened. Talk about how it felt. Talk about what you learned. One of the things that I ask my clients when I'm extracting their stories from them is I have them explain exactly how it felt in that moment. Like, take me back to that moment and tell me what was going on in your body, what was going on in your mind. So that way they can really take a step back and tell me exactly how they felt. And then we move into, okay, now what did you learn from this specific situation? This is what helps people like really connect with your story. And then mistake number 3 is forgetting to connect the dots. Always make it clear on how your story relates to your offer. Why should people care about what happened to you? How does it help them? And here's what I want you to remember. When someone's thinking about buying your high-ticket offer, they're not just buying a service. They're buying into a story about how their life could be different. Your job is to show them that change is possible. Notice I didn't say tell them there. You want to show them. And the best way to do that, tell stories that matter. If you found this helpful, don't forget to hit the subscribe button for more content just like this. And drop a comment down below. Let me know what your biggest challenges are when it comes to telling stories in your business. I read every comment and reply to as many as I can. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.